Imagine discovering a record from 1975 from Japan and it hits you harder than half of the funk records coming out of the States at the time. Sleek grooves, tight brass, smooth as silk electric pianos, and just when you think it's cooling off, the rhythm section pulls you back in. That's exactly what happened when I listened to Funky Stuff by Jiro Inagaki. And let me tell you, this album doesn't walk, it struts. Today I'm diving deep into this absolute groove fest, breaking down the tracks that stood out to me most, talking about what makes this record so special and why Japanese jazz funk deserves a lot more attention than it gets. Let's kick things off with the opening track, Painted Paradise. What a way to start an album. From the jump, it lets you know that this band isn't playing around. There's a mellow, chilled out atmosphere here that draws you in slowly. But the musicianship, oh, it's razor sharp. You've got these buttery electric piano lines, silky smooth, wrapping around a punchy, funky bass line. The drums are crisp, clean and never overpowering, but driving everything forward with purpose. Then the brass section enters tight and polished, laying down textures that feel sophisticated without ever sounding stiff. And of course we have the man himself, Jiro Inagaki, with a saxophone solo that absolutely soars. It's fluttering, vibrant and almost emotional the way that it dances through the groove. This is jazz funk with finesse, and it instantly sets the tone. This album's not just about rhythm, it's about class. Each musician gets their moment to shine. There are solos tucked all over this track, but everything always circles back to that sophisticated core groove. It's a showcase, no doubt, but it's never self-indulgent. That's the magic. And now we're skipping ahead a little to track 3 named Breeze. And yes, it feels exactly like the name implies. This one's like a chilled cocktail on a sunny afternoon. The electric piano here has this gentle, airy reverb that makes it feel like you're floating. And listen out for the bongo drums, higher in the mix than you'd normally expect. That unexpected choice gives the track this light, tropical twist. Almost like you've drifted into a jazz funk beach lounge. But it's not just soft edges. The electric guitar steps in with this gritty little edge. Nothing too aggressive, but enough to create contrast with the mellow vibe underneath. And again, Inagaki's sax adds that finishing touch of sophistication. His phrasing here is less wild, more reflective. He's painting with subtle strokes rather than broad ones. Out of all the tracks on the album, this might be the most popular with casual listeners, and I understand why. It's accessible but rich in detail. It invites you in and then keeps you nodding along the whole way through. If you're enjoying this breakdown and discovering some new grooves along the way, why not consider subscribing to the channel? I drop deep dives like this all the time, covering the deepest corners of jazz, funk and everything in between. If you're into smooth grooves and sharp musicianship, hit the subscribe button and stay inspired. Now let's talk about the title track, Funky Stuff. This is the powerhouse of the album. The name doesn't lie, it's pure funk energy from start to finish. The horns take front and center here, exploding with presence right from the start. The rhythm section is punchy and relentless. The electric piano swirls in and out, weaving with this gritty organ that brings a real vintage vibe. The electric guitar strumming is sharp, driving and hypnotic. This isn't a track built on dynamic twists and turns. It's about locking into the groove and never letting go. There's something almost trance-like about it. It loops, it pulses, and you find yourself pulled into its gravitational field. We do get an electric guitar solo and a few keyboard moments sprinkled in, but it's not about individual fireworks here. It's about ensemble power. This is the band in full formation, focusing on one thing: making you move. Then we come to a track like Gentle Wave, and it's like hitting a cool down lap after a sprint. The name is perfect. This track is all about atmosphere. It opens with a dreamy electric piano sequence that just floats in the air. It doesn't demand your attention, it just invites you into a headspace. As the track builds, we start to hear some funky bass elements creeping in. Soft percussion, and once again that saxophone playing careful, melodic lines that feel both improvisational and intentional. There's a simplicity here that really works. It doesn't try to do too much, but what it does do, it does beautifully. So, what does funky stuff really tell us about Japanese jazz funk? For me, it proves that Japan wasn't just mimicking Western jazz funk. They were adding their own layer of polish, precision, and creativity. This album oozes cool. It's not flashy in the obvious ways, but the musicianship is top tier. There's groove, there's elegance, and most importantly, there's soul. Jiro Inagaki might be the name on the record, but you can feel how collaborative this project is. Everyone's contributing, everyone's listening to each other. There's this cohesion that runs through the entire album. It never feels like a soloist's playground, but more like a group conversation in musical form. If you're into jazz funk or even just curious about international jazz scenes, funky stuff is essential listening. Put it on, close your eyes, and just let it ride. Thank you for watching, everyone. If you have a favorite track from the album or any Japanese jazz funk recommendations that you think I should check out, then drop them in the comments down below. I love hearing what you're all listening to. Don't forget to like the video, and if you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe to the channel for more jazz that inspires. Until next time, keep it smooth, keep it funky.